betting football, man.
I've lost so much money. I honestly haven't bet in like the last probably like 2-3 months.
Really?
Well, that's what I was bet with my heart. That's the problem.
Me too.
Yeah.
I bet with my heart so much.
And that's really why I lose so much money, too, because I bet it all on the fucking Raiders.
Exactly.
I bet the Raiders to cover. I'll bet them to win outright. I'll bet them to whatever. So-and-so to, have...
Score the first touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. I can't tell you how many times I bet on fucking Brock Powers to have, a touchdown game. And then they never throw him the ball in the red zone.
Murphy is going to lose his ass on Ashton Genty this year.
Darn right he is. And God bless you for it.
Well, yeah.
I love him.
Does he make you feel funny? Kind of like when you used to climb the rope in gym class?
Maybe.
Hey, Robert Pena.
Hey, Robert. Just Robert Pena?
That's it. Just him tonight.
Just the four of us,
Doing a
Robert.
show for, Robert Pena Fan Radio.
I love it.
Hey, there's Martin J. Jackson.
Hey, there we go.
Paul says, happy Saturday morning.
Oh, that's right. Saturday morning.
There you go.
Yeah, we're on with Scooby-Doo over there in the UK.
Oh.
Paul, please tell me you're having cereal.
I know, right?
Yeah, having cereal, sitting crisscross applesauce.
Yeah,
watching...
with his Superman pajamas on or something.
Paul. Oh, that's awesome.
Hey, Yoshi.
What's up, Yoshi? Face is feeling a little flush after that shot of Cabo Wabo, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's how I feel when I see Genty in a uniform.
That's all flushed.
Oh, my gosh. All right, here we go. Episode number 372 of Raiders Fan Radio.
What's up, guys? Hey, it's Mike Garafolo, NFL Network here in the home office, and you are listening to the Raiders Fan Radio podcast, taking that lighter journey into the dark side with Murf, Swag Jeff, and Michelle. She's got great hair. It's a little pink, it's a little purple, whatever it is. I'll tell you what, if I could grow it, I would sign up for that color today. So listen to her and the entire crew as they give you all the information on the Raiders on the podcast that benefits the One Nation Foundation. It's a great cause. It's a great pod. Tune in, turn it up. Here it comes. All that Raiders info and takes coming at you right now.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, L.A., Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murph's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, Kolesnikov, a leaping pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players, you have a great organization, and you tell them one thing, just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down, Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio. Take it away, guys.
Why, thank you, Brett Musburger. What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murph back once again for what we trust will be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio, coming to you on a rare Friday up in here.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got the cocktails have been poured and we're ready to talk some Raider football here and lead y'all into the weekend. And appreciate everybody that is joining us live for this episode of Raiders Fan Radio. Appreciate everybody that is in the chat room. We have an amazing chat room. If you've never watched the show live, normally we go live at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. But tonight we're doing, as like I said, a rarity on a Friday. But if you've never joined us live, well, first off, if this is your first time in here, welcome in, and I appreciate you being here. And if you haven't ever joined us live, you're missing out. The best chat room in all of sports, not only when it comes to just the Raiders and Raider football, but in all of sports. We have the most amazing chat room in there, and I'm going to give them a little bit of respect here. We won't do the big full respect. Hey, we won't do the full respect segment. What's wrong? We're good?
You said respect. Oh.
Yeah.
Hey.
Come on, Murf.
I'm not used to having another Dago in the room. It caught me off guard. But so anyways, we appreciate you. And I'm going to give the chat room a little bit of respect and the wider listening audience of Raiders Fan Radio, frankly.
Absolutely.
And so we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But anyway, so thank you to all of those of you at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio joining us live. Thank you to all of those of you that are on the audio podcast. We appreciate you as well. And we know lots of folks catch this show afterwards. And when you're riding your lawnmower or painting your garage or doing goat yoga.
That's a big one.
Goat yoga is a huge one. Anytime you're commuting to work, we appreciate that you let us grace your ear holes by throwing on some Raiders Fan Radio. So thank you very much, all of those of you on the audio podcast. And if you want to check out the show on the audio podcast, you can just search for it by searching your favorite audio podcast service like Apple, Google, Spotify, any of those, Pandora, iHeartRadio. Just search Raiders Fan Radio and you can find this show, which is Raiders Fan Radio. All right, so we're just going to do nothing but straight Raider talk tonight. We're going to go a little bit off of format. I've only got one email that we're going to read. We're going to save the rest of the emails and voicemails for when Michelle joins us back again here in a couple weeks. But we want to jump right into it because there's some fun stuff to talk about tonight. We got a special guest in the house. But before we get to all that, I don't do this show alone. So first, let me turn it over to my best friend and yours. He is the man for at least another probably few weeks, going to occupy the right side of the coffee table. What is this? Poker table.
Cabo Wabo.
Cabo Wabo. He is Swag Jeff.
For a second, you were introducing me there. I thought maybe I was getting fired. You said, hey, for at least for a couple more weeks, he'll be here.
I thought the same thing. I was
damn.
like, where's he going?
Yeah.
Well, hey, there's other Jeffs.
There sure are. There sure are.
With a sweet new hat, too, by the way.
Hey, much respect to my best friend in the world, Murf, for the birthday present.
I got you.
Yeah. And this is a perfect Swag Jeff hat.
It is a perfect Swag Jeff hat.
Yeah. So if you're on the audio, it is a what all designs are on this? There's some flowers on there, palm trees, and all that. It's a perfect golf hat.
Waves, maybe is what you got going on there. I think there's waves.
We're making waves.
Well, because you used to host Aloha Corner. And so I wanted to get you something tropical, but you know how picky I am about not having the silver, black, and white be the base colors of said garment if you're going to put the Raiders shield on it.
Absolutely.
Everybody wears what they want to wear. I am not policing your apparel, but for me personally, I only rock stuff that's Raider colors. So I found you a hat that's tropical and is Raider colors.
It's perfect. And I love the homage to Aloha Corner. I didn't even realize that's where your head was at for that. So hey,
bro.
Love that for sure. Yeah. So, you know what else I love is all the amazing folks that are in the chat room tonight. Let me shout them out. Piano Man, who is a Charger fan, but he's playing nice. We'll let him in there.
As long as you're cool.
He's trying to troll a little bit, but it's okay.
And that's fair. Troll a little bit. Just don't be a dick.
There you go. Yeah, don't be an asshole. Yeah, for sure. So
it's hard for Charger fans.
Yeah. Hey. But yeah. So
wait, why'd you pluralize that?
That's true. Hard for the Charger fan.
It's that guy, Piano Man. We found the one Charger fan. But who else is in there? Kevin the Raider Nerd, James Furpo, Paul is in there. Jay Jackson, the hashtag Navajo on the go, is in the building. Elon Bush, Kenny Blair, Yoshi, who just dropped a $50 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
Come on, Yoshi.
Did you tell anyone about the One Nation Foundation?
No, but let's save it because that's where I'm going to get my respect.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Well, so Murph, we don't do this show alone.
Heck no, we don't.
No. So sitting over here across the poker table from me for at least a couple more weeks, I guess, is the one and only I guess, well, yeah, you're the one and only the lovely QB Jeff.
Appreciate you guys, man. Excited to be back on.
What's up, Murf?
It's been too long.
Oh my gosh,
but,
yes.
I'm not as good looking as Michelle is, but I hope I do the chair justice. And
There you go, man.
guys, I don't know if you saw our guy, Ashton Genty, in the silver and black today,
Bro.
but it's all I've looked at all day. Literally all I've looked at all day is that beautiful number 2 silver and black dark visor with dreads, but excited to get into it, boys.
I don't know if I've ever seen you have hearts in your eyes before.
I mean, it's been a long time, Murf. It's been a long time. I've been married 12 years coming up in a couple weeks. It's about the last time it's happened. So
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Well, glad to have you here, QB Jeff, of course, as you know him. And he is, if you're not, you're QB Jeff around here, but on your show, you're Murf.
I am
You're
Murf.
just like me, just with a PH instead of an F on
That's
the end
right.
of it. But
properly balanced.
That's exactly right. But go ahead and talk a little bit about your show, what your show is. And I think that for folks that don't know, that they'll get a real quick idea about why you do love you some Ashton Genty.
Yeah, so me and one of my best friends, Matthew Sprouse, we are the Group of 5 guys. We cover college football. All we cover is the Group of 5 schools. So you're talking your American Conference, Conference USA, the MAC, the Sun Belt, and the Mountain West. So Ashton Genty, obviously coming from Boise State, the premier blue blood program in the Group of 5, and quite honestly in the entire country. We do a podcast. We travel the country, go to these schools, interview coaches, give the best coverage in the Group of 5 that anybody could possibly do in the country. And I'm proud to adorn that. And man, we've been doing it 4 years now. It's crazy.
I'm just rocking and rolling.
You guys are rocking, man. It's fantastic. Yeah. So if you're interested in any of those schools or otherwise, like I just listened to your show because, of course I have an affinity for MTSU because that's where we all went to school. But outside of that, like, some of the, the other programs and whatnot, I think is cool is that like rivals of MTSU, you guys still cover them. Right. And then you get to other parts of the country where, growing up in the Bay Area, so I love hearing about San Jose State.
Absolutely.
Love hearing any hate that you can throw towards Fresno State, like any of that kind of stuff. You guys don't, but I would. But buck the full dogs, as the kids say. But I love it that you guys, and then you have a broader discussion on college football as well. You guys get into a lot into the NIL, into the transfer portal, and being former athletes and guys that are heavily invested in this, and now even as a business owner and being invested in, are you the president of Raider Rising?
I'm one of the board members.
One of the board members of Raider Rising.
Yep.
Yeah. So you are literally putting together NIL deals for players. So you guys have like an excellent reference point for what's going on in college football, which is absolutely bananas. And I know this show is about the Raiders, but if you can appreciate the sport as a whole and what's going on in college football, definitely check these guys out, the Group of 5 guys, because you guys know your shit, and it's not only entertaining because you're funny, but you just know what the hell you're talking about.
No, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I mean, it's something we played, obviously, the sport, and we love what we do, and it just doesn't get enough coverage. That's why we started doing it. In this crazy landscape of college football with NIL, transfer portal, with conference realignment, like we try and do our best to give, a macro perspective of where college football is at, specifically how that affects the blue collar Group of 5 schools. And we bring on, we've had attorneys on, we've had people specialized in the NIL space. So like it's an ever changing environment. So the best thing we can do is get educated on it and then have a good time. And our favorite thing is to travel, get to meet these coaches, these players. I'm telling you, it's phenomenal football. Don't listen to ESPN and CBS and Fox because all they talk about, it's the same 5 to 6 teams year round. There's great football all across the country. And if you're interested in that sort of thing, or one of your alma maters falls in the Group of 5, come check us out at groupof5guys.com.
Perfect. And yeah, oh, by the way, the best player on our team, and arguably the best player on our team in the last, I don't know, at least since Khalil Mack moved on.
No question.
Best player on our team went to a Group of 5 school.
Eastern Michigan.
Right? The guy that was the Raiders at quarterback for 9 years went to a Group of 5 school.
Yep.
Our number 1 or first round draft pick this year out of a Group of 5. Like they're all over. There are players all over. Heck, Dylan Parham went to Memphis. Like we could start going down the list of current Raiders.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? There are tons of them coming out of the Group of 5. So anyways, great stuff there from these guys. Great job that Murf does, along with Sprouse. And so, yeah, y'all keep up the good work and keep kicking ass and go see them on the road. If you get a chance to go see these guys on the road. All right, Swag Jeff, let's go ahead and let's hit some contact info.
Okay.
And then I've got an idea.
Ooh.
Let's talk about the Raiders.
Oh, let's do that.
Woo.
Woo.
Woo! Hey, Raider Nation, you got your old Uncle Mosh here with an updated contact info. So sit up, zip up, shut up, and pay attention. You can call us at 909-345-3346, or as Murf would say it,
909-345-3346.
How about emailing me? You want to email me? Email me at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes? Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. The Twit at Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio. Insta something. Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. The
ticky-ticky-tocky-tock.
TikTok at Raiders
We need to
Fan
post another
Radio.
TikTok soon.
We
Or
should.
what about the Twitch? Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
Good. Oh, nice.
Let's go.
Still got it.
Still got it. Yeah, haven't missed a step.
Right on. So before we get going and rolling on the show, I do want to take just a moment to thank everybody that has supported the One Nation Foundation. We say all the time that we could do an entire show with just our gratitude for the generosity of Raider Nation. Kicking it off with tonight with that $50 donation that we got from Yoshi. Thank you, Yoshi, for that incredibly kind donation. And we take that money and give it to our nonprofit that we formed back in 2019 when we figured out we could make some money with this show. And we just gave out our first donation to the good folks at Raider Dad this week. Josh Camonite, the president of Raider Dad, was very kind to put out a little thank you video on what we had that we had donated. And we just want to make sure that we refocus the thankfulness and the gratitude towards you all. It's the listening audience of Raiders Fan Radio that does most of the fundraising. Yes, we have some corporate sponsors. Yes, we love the boy Will Compton, and he takes very good care of us, and we are very thankful for what he does to contribute to the foundation. But the majority of it, it's a ground roots thing, and it's the $2, the $5, the $10, the $20, the $50s, the $100s. Those donations are the ones that add up the most. It's the collective of Raider Nation. Can't do that without you guys, and so thank you very, very much for that. Thank you for your support of the One Nation Foundation, and thank you for your support of Raiders Fan Radio. Everybody wants to have their show be big, and we would love to have that too, but we only want to pump our numbers because we want to generate as much money for the foundation as we possibly can. I love it when a podcast has a cause. You guys in your show, Jeff, you have a cause. You're trying to bring attention and awareness to underserved by media programs that deserve it. Right? Like you're doing, there's a mission to it. And I feel like that's what Raiders Fan Radio has become, is that there's a mission to it, and that is to grow our nonprofit as much as we can. If I had a chance to put Raiders Fan Radio in the back seat, I would pick that, because we want to just grow the foundation. That's the number one thing. So thank you to you guys for the way that you support this show. Thank you for your support of the foundation. That's all I got, Jeff. You got anything you want to tag on it?
Throw it to him, please.
Okay. Sorry, Jeff is in the middle of.
I'm in the middle of.
No, you're good.
Dealing with stupid heads in the chat.
Oh no, are we getting some craziness going on?
Yeah, our Charger guys, he's starting to let it rip a little bit.
Loose?
So yeah, he's getting a little loose. So it's time for him to go to time. It's timeout time.
Heck yeah.
Go sit in the corner. Think about what you did.
So I'll tell you what. I want to celebrate Chef B.
Oh boy, Chef.
Chef B became a member for 22 months. He says, almost 2 years all. I love the show and the support you guys do. Thank you very, very much for that, Chef B. So you can become a member here at Raiders Fan Radio. Costs you $5 a month. Here in the case, it's 22 months. And so thank you very, very much for that. That's a little, what was it, $110, man? That's going straight to the foundation,
absolutely
man.
it is.
And so thank you for that, Chef B. Thank you for your kindness and that generosity. Again, as we raise money for charities, Raiders-related charities. So thank you very, very much for that. All right. You ready? You ready, QB Jeff? Okay, I'm gonna set you up like this because we're gonna talk about the Raiders. You ready?
Yeah.
Ashton Genty, go.
I mean, you're talking about, guys, let's just be honest here. How many years have we not done probably the general consensus taking the pick in the first round that we've needed to, right? Like, this was, in my opinion, the only pick in the entire draft that has the effect that Ashton Genty has for our entire team. And this is why I wanted to take him, okay? You could have taken a Shedeur Sanders. If Cam would have fell, you could have taken him. I still don't think, and this is just my opinion, doesn't mean I'm right. Cam Ward could end up being the best quarterback that ever played. Same with Shedeur Sanders. I don't think so, just solely based off of watching their film in college, what they did. Neither of those teams brought their college team to a college football playoff, and they did not win their conference championship. All right. Ashton Genty, what he does for the Raiders, all right, he helps the quarterback, he helps the offensive line, he helps the receivers, he helps the defense in all of these ways. All right. Quarterback's best friend is a great running game. Okay. What was one of our worst stats last year?
Running game.
Running the ball.
Yeah.
Okay. We needed pieces on the offensive line. We drafted some. We've got some in free agency, that sort of thing. But there's nothing like a great running back who still led the entire country in rushing after first contact. So it was Ashton Genty led college football in rushing with 2,600 yards. And then after contact, he was number 2. I think it was like 1,700 or something after contact.
Dang.
And then after that was the next closest guy. So you want to talk about an offensive line that needed some help. Don't get me wrong. I know it did. And we addressed some of those things, I think. But you get a guy that after contact, which he's going to get a lot of, is able to break tackles and still move the chains 3-4 yards at a clip. We got him. That's going to help the offensive line, number 1. All right. Number 2, we couldn't run the ball last year as Raiders against 5-man boxes. That means you have one-on-one, if not sometimes double teams at the point of attack, and be able to. That's how bad we were running the ball last year. All right. The only reason why, really, because number 1, our offensive line was not great, but who we had in the backfield, they were not playmakers. They were not elusive guys. They were not anything special. If you give Ashton Genty a 5-man box with the offensive line that we currently have, he'll be rookie of the year. Okay. So that forces defenses now to come. You got to give a 6-man box, which what does that do? They can't sit back and play coverage, which makes the quarterback's life difficult. Okay. Play action is ineffective last year because nobody's scared of us running the ball. So, I mean, literally you go by position, offense, he helps everybody. Now, defensively, what was our problem? We had a great defense last year. They were just on the field the entire game.
Yeah. Couldn't convert on third down.
Exactly. So what does running the ball do? All right. Get you in 3rd and short. Very manageable situations, right? Number 1. Okay. Number 2, keeps the clock going. Again, keeps your defense on the sideline, keeps Max fresh, keeps Kuntz fresh. All those guys that I think we have a really, really good defense, added pieces again that could make our defense top 5 in the league. All right. So not only does he help every position offensively on the field, solely based off of how elusive he is, how powerful he is. I know the knock on him, he's short, and they were trying to find things to knock this guy down in the draft. Oh, he played at Boise State. What does that mean? The guy, he crushed Oregon. He crushed, if the group of 5 was the problem, his competition, look what he did against Oregon, Washington State, Oregon State, Penn State in the bowl game. I was there live. Penn State in the bowl game. That guy had 3 guys on him every run play in the backfield because their defensive line, Abdul Carter, was on that defensive line, was just overmatched Boise State's offensive line. The guy still had 100 yards. I mean, you get that guy one-on-one in space, you are not tackling that guy. His balance is incredible. He's powerful. I think the fact that he's short is actually plays into his advantage, because when you're a linebacker and you're trying to see everything, right? Fire in holes, okay? You get a 5, I think he's 5'10", something like
5'8".
5'8", yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's listed, or he was listed at 5'10".
Yeah.
Like 5'9", 5'8".
Yeah.
It's a half second that you got to wait to actually see that guy. And now he's in the hole. Now you're a step late as a linebacker. Like, it makes it more difficult than a guy that's 6 foot, 6'2", like Derek. You know where that guy's going. You see him the entire time. Genty's going to disappear and then appear. And by that second, you're too late, because he's too fast. He's too elusive. So I think he helps everybody in the offense. I think he helps the defense by time of possession. I mean, Geno's going to have a whole lot better, easier of time. And by the way, I think that was one of the best pickups we've had, because I didn't want to draft any of these quarterbacks. I wanted a veteran presence. But when you look at Geno Smith, the guy really didn't play for his first 2-3 years, right?
Or even more.
Yeah,
really.
even longer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everybody's like, oh, he's kind of old. Maybe he has 2 years. I think he's got more.
He doesn't have
than
the
that.
wear and tear, not at all.
Yeah,
I think he's got 5.
Exactly. I think he's more athletic than he gets credit for. I think he's a great thrower of the
He
football.
is.
I think
Absolutely.
he understands.
Some people say that he's the best thrower of the ball in the league right now.
I don't know
just as far as pure passer.
Yeah, he did great in college. I don't know. I'm not going to go so far as that. But what I love more than anything is he got to sit behind a great quarterback for many years and learn the game. And that's what Tom Brady talks about. He talks about the evolution of the college quarterback and how it's dumbed down and how they get into the NFL. And rookies historically have not done well. But now, again, you ask him to come in day one and be the savior of the franchise. That's almost an unrealistic expectation for Cam Ward and all these other guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This guy got to sit, learn how to be a pro, how to read defenses, all the things, and was with Pete Carroll in Seattle. Like, I know... we say this every year.
Come on, do it.
We get excited, right? But this is by far the most excited that I've been in a long time, because I think we were really close last year on defense, of being a phenomenal defense, and we were missing pieces on offense. But you add this Ashton Genty, who I've seen multiple times at this point. I'm telling you, this.
You guys were on the field for the bowl game, right?
We were on the field this year at the Fiesta Bowl against Penn State. We saw him the previous year against Memphis at Memphis. The guy's a stud. Now, if he misses, by golly, all the signs were like, this guy's about as can't miss pick as you can take. He's a great human being. He's loyal. He's a hard worker. He's a Dago by proxy, because he lived in Italy when his dad was in the military. So, I have even more love for the kid. You know what I'm saying? So, I think he's a home run.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Give it up for QB Jeff.
Come on, Jeff.
Sorry, I monopolized the mic for a while.
No, that's why we had you on. Because I know because you and I have been texting and talking about this stuff, and I'm like, I know that you want to get all.
Who else in the draft has that much effect right now, year one? I don't think anybody would have.
Okay, I got a follow-up question to that, and then I want to throw some devil's advocate stuff. I'll let you do that.
Okay.
Some of the knocks. We've already talked about the size in the school, but there's some others as well, like, quality of tackling and like in the NFL versus college and whatever. It's that kind of stuff. But I want to follow up. Wait, what am I going to follow up with? What did you just say? I had a really good one.
Tequila.
And then I got sidetracked talking to Jeff, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, I know what it was. Okay, I got it.
Were you talking to me, really?
No, I got it now.
You just kind of looked in my direction.
No, I got it now. I promise.
Okay.
All right. Wait, I had it. Damn it, Jeff. Shit.
Lost it again.
Okay, no, wait. Did I get it back? Nope, not quite. Okay, go. Give him a devil's advocate question.
A devil's advocate.
I know what it was. Okay.
In pure Murf form.
No, stop,
there he is.
Don't say anything else.
All right.
Okay, so one of the things that I talked about on last week's show was the ability for running backs, out of all the positions you can draft for out of college, the ones that can acclimate the fastest. And one of the point that I made is that running back and whatever other ones you tell me about translates immediately.
Yeah.
You can have a massive impact at running back week one in the NFL, where Corners take time to develop. Wide receivers take time to develop. Like other positions, obviously quarterback, you could have a good rookie year, but then they get some film on you, and then sophomore slump. Like there's a lot of There's a lot of variables that go on with other positions. Running back, you can come in day one, have an impact, and have an impact for 5 straight years, right?
I agree. I think running back more than most positions, but I also think it's very case by case basis. We saw Quinyon Mitchell the previous year from Toledo, Group of 5 guy, come in, crushed the Senior Bowl, got drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles, was one of the best corners in the entire league.
Yep.
You got to look at the player, the tape, the stats. Does everything check out? You got to check it out base by base cases. Had the stats, has the film, played against competitive competition. I mean, the kid's been healthy pretty much his entire career. I know people are like, oh, we carried it 30, 35 times a game, wear and tear. Yeah, but I mean, just that was his senior year, number one, or his junior year, number one. But look at the physical specimen that this kid is.
He's a unit.
I mean, he is an absolute unit. He's low center of gravity. He's like everything you want in a running back. And people are like, oh, well, it's pass protection. It's like, all right, is that what we're picking out as pass protection? That's something you can clean up. And there's always going to be a little bit.
And it's not like he's
curve.
bad at it.
No, he's not bad at it. But that's like, okay, pass protection. That's it. What's your next complaint? Because there ain't one. So it's like he's about as can't miss, as you can be. But yeah, I think running back for sure is one of the quickest ones that can get acclimated right away and fit into this offense. And again, he immediately changes, in my opinion, the dynamic of this offense. You can't give us a 5-man box. I promise you we're going to be ahead of the chains every time if you do. Unless our offensive line is just so bad that he's having to break 3 guys, 3 tackles in the backfield. Then that's not his fault. But I think our offensive line will be better this year.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that you talked about that really stuck out to me was that he really is going to make everyone around him better as well. Like you've got to watch this guy, I mean, okay, 5 guys in the box. Okay. Watch him eat.
Yeah.
But okay, you start stacking these other guys in there, and then you're going to see Jacoby Myers start booming. You're going to see Brock Bowers boom. You're going to see, Dante Thornton hit you one deep. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm telling you, this was one of the best drafts that I've seen the Raiders have in a long time. And I know you can't really like grade a draft right away, but like just the eye test right off the bat, you're like, holy shit.
Fitment,
like from 7, like all perfect. 7 rounds, I'm like, fuck, that was a good pick. That was a good pick. That was a good pick.
Again, everything made sense.
Yes.
Like it was a general consensus of, okay, we need this, we need this, we need this. And every pretty much was addressed. Every position, every fill was addressed. And one thing that I feel like we have not heard in a really, really long time is from top to bottom, we're all moving in the same direction. This is the plan. This is what we're going to do. It was executed on draft night, like from Davis to the GM, to the head coach, to the players, to Brady. Like, and a lot of this to me fit Brady too. Like, we're going to take these guys because we evaluated them and they're good. I'm not going to look at where they played. I'm going to evaluate the tape, evaluate how long they were there, the stats.
Which is some Al Davis shit right there.
Exactly.
Yep.
Let's get away from the labels, guys. Like, I promise you, there's fantastic players all across the country, not just at Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, and the other 3 they talk about. Like, there's plenty of great players, and the key is assessing talent, evaluating it, and finding value where other people don't. And I feel like we did that.
Absolutely. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Love that. Fires me up, man. I can't wait.
So we're going to the Super Bowl. Everybody, just get ready for this.
There it is, finally.
Let's go.
It only took you 32 minutes, Jeff, to get that out.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, geez, it's been a minute since you've been on the show. Normally, you'd be saying that the first 10. You'd be like, hey, Murf, I don't know if you heard this or not, but we're winning the Super Bowl this year.
The good news?
Yeah. Well, there's really nothing you and I can add to that.
There's no way
there's
we
really,
could
I mean,
tag
you know,
that.
because I mean,
It
all
would
we would be doing is going, this is so fun. He's going to be so good. Whatever. This guy's breaking it down. Like, I mean, this is perfect. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, we were both. I'm looking at us, and we're both just like just watching you like talk about this guy.
Did
like,
I sell you? Did I sell you on the Genty?
I mean, I was sold, but
know.
like now I'm super sold.
Like, what dopey input could we have? I don't know. You know what I mean? Be like, he's gonna be good. Hey, remember that one time we drafted Ashton Genty?
That was
Genty.
awesome.
I'll say it too.
Genty?
Jeez, my gosh.
Have another one, pal.
No, I might.
Your glasses are fogged up.
I know, man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
36 minutes in. We got foggy?
A little bit. Okay. Nice. All right. So let's talk about expectations. So this is something that we talked about on the last show. And I got some interesting comments back on this one, and I don't want to rehash everything about it because I want to set it up and turn it over to you two. So my expectation for Ashton Genty this year, 1,600 plus all-purpose yards, okay? Top 10 in rushing, top 5 in yards after contact, 10 plus touchdowns, offensive rookie of the year. Swag Jeff, what do you think?
I think it's offensive rookie of the year bust. You know, I mean, not bust, but I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think
regardless of what
regardless as to what the numbers are, I think if this guy has 1,000 yards on the ground and 8 to 10 touchdowns, I mean, I think he could possibly lead the league in rushing touchdowns in his rookie year.
Do you think so? You don't think he'll get vultured on anybody?
I don't think so, man. You know, I mean, I think he'll get some yardage taken away from Mostert. You know, and Mostert will have some big games and stuff like that. But I mean, you know, this guy's going to punch it into the end zone a lot. So I really think offensive rookie of the year. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah. How is it?
Because I'm asking. I really don't know because I didn't watch him all year long and over the past few years like you have. Is that short game? Is he Josh Jacobs level where we're going to punch it on 3rd and 2? Can you turn around and hand it to the guy?
Well, I'm glad you brought Josh Jacobs up because if you remember I believe it was the year he won the rushing title. He had the most yards after contact as well. So people are like, oh, we let Josh Jacobs go, all this stuff. But like our O-line was pretty bad then. He was just great at making guys miss.
I think it was worse then, frankly.
I agree. He was just really good at making guys miss in the backfield and getting forward. I think Genty has it all. I'd have to really go in and look at, who the other, big time candidates are going to be for offense because it's
Cam Ward. I think it's Cam Ward, Ashton Genty, and then the rest of the field, frankly, if you ask me. That's because, it's not going to be Trav. Travis you're not at a wide receiver getting what, 10 to 14 touches a game? Like, he's not going to.
I'm interested to see how they split that up. I mean, it's just so much more physical of a game in the NFL than it is college. I think he'll play both, and that's why you drafted him.
Well, they're saying they're going to start him off entirely on offense and then slowly bring him in defensively. So I think that he's going to have a shot. I just saw that on the Insiders last night on NFL Network. So
I thought he was a better corner than he was receiver.
That's what I thought too. I thought for sure. I thought it'd be the opposite. I thought he would be a full-time corner, and then they'd start introducing offensive packages. They're going to flip it. They're going to go the opposite. They're going to start him off as a wideout and then bring him in defensively. Which I don't run an NFL team, but the Jaguars haven't been the best run organization over the past 30 years. So I don't know. I consider that a miss. I think that his value is way higher on the defensive side of the football, and do like a la Dion or even Charles Woodson. I know they weren't to a very high extent, but they were defensive players that had offensive packages. And sometimes that was just to distract. Sometimes it was decoy. Sometimes it was that. Or sometimes
it wasn't.
Or it wasn't. And Dion had freaking run a 9 route and catch a deep one from Troy Aikman. Like,
Woodson did it a couple times.
And Woodson did. He was in on a few.
Not a lot, but like.
Well, that's what I always wanted them to do it more.
Yeah.
I'm like, use him more offensively.
But every time they did use him, it was like a 20-yard gain. I'm like,
right, yeah,
what are we doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, so all that said, I don't think the competition versus like last year for Bowers, you had 6 quarterbacks. Yeah. You knew one of them was going to be good enough to get their team to the playoffs, let alone 2 of them with Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix. So it automatically is going to elevate them above Brock, even though I think Brock still should have won it. But now when you look at the odds, it's Cam Ward, right? He's the guy that if the Titans go, listen, they're the worst team in football, and he was the number 1 overall pick for a reason. So it's not like they're going to be a playoff team. But if he, quote, balls out and has a good statistical year, doesn't throw a lot of picks, add 4 or 5 wins to the win total, I could see him earning Rookie of the Year. Outside of that, to me, it's Genty. That unless
the only thing I worry about, and it's an arbitrary award, it really doesn't matter, but the NFL and all awards are so political, right?
Sure, absolutely.
And
that's why I always
forget that we are the Raiders, and Genty came from Boise State, and he got, in my opinion, snubbed of the Heisman because, again, You take Genty off of Boise State. Boise State does not win the Mountain West. They do not get the playoff nod. Travis Hunter played both ways for Colorado in a Big 12, conference. That's whatever you think about it is fine. Wasn't good enough to lift his team to a conference championship, the berth to the game, or the championship, or to the playoff. So, I mean, that was purely political because ESPN and Fox and CBS are drilling home Travis Hunter, all this stuff. It's like we had a running back that almost broke Barry Sanders' record that hasn't, it's been a long time since somebody's even been close.
And sniffed it, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, but because of why the group of five guys was started, he was at Boise State, and people want to make up all these arbitrary, because he plays Fresno State, San Jose State. It's like, okay, but what about Oregon? They were ranked number 1 in the country when they played him.
And he went off
200 yards.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that was early in the season. It's all these, so it gets political even with the rookie of the year and the NFL and all that stuff. So we'll see. I think he should be the favorite. I don't foresee Cam Ward leading the Titans to a bunch of things. I think him and Shedeur both got away with a ton of throws in college that they will not get away with in the NFL.
I agree.
But we'll see.
And you know what? And I want and we'll keep it brief because this is a Raiders show, but Cam Ward, when you watched Miami this year, and I watched him a lot because I knew we were going to be in the quarterback market.
Yeah.
This is well before Geno Smith, obviously. So it was like, okay, let's watch. I watched a lot of Shedeur, and I watched a lot of Cam Ward because I thought, okay, one of these two guys, you and I talked about that, Jeff, that we were in on a lot of those games.
Absolutely.
I saw Xavier Restrepo bail Cam Ward out of a shit ton of throws.
Yeah.
Right? Like there was a lot of he's very good at creating space. He's very good at getting out of a bad pocket and opening up the field. But then he's throwing some YOLO balls down there that Restrepo was going and snagging. And all of a sudden these are 40-yard gains or touchdowns or whatever that I'm like, in the NFL, those are getting cut by a safety. There's going to be a corner to jump that route.
Right.
There's going to be, you can get away with that shit against Boston College. Try that against the freaking Eagles and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Reed Blankenship will freaking end that pass real quick. You know, and so I thought that a lot about watching Cam Ward this year. So I'm with you. It'll be, and I still think he's going to be a good quarterback. I'm not trying to take anything away from the kid, but I don't think that he's going to be this like rocket to the top, resurrect the franchise kind of guy.
No, he reminds me a lot, to me at least, he reminds me a lot of like the hype and stuff of Jameis Winston when he came out.
Yeah.
Where he was elusive and could make plays happen and all that kind of stuff, and just going to be a gunslinger, going to sling it down the field. And like you said, he's in some of these other teams that he played in college, he's not going to be able to get away with that in the NFL. So, so that's kind of my thought. But I think that Genty really has a chance to win Offensive Rookie of the Year because of the fact that the NFL is really starting to respect the running back again.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, like
to the tune of $33 million guaranteed. Stay at your
100%.
group of 5 school, right?
There you go. 100%, man, for sure. But like, I mean, you look at the impact that Saquon Barkley had last year. I think Saquon really helped save the running back face of the NFL. Like he really showed the NFL a good running back does matter, And so this is our guy.
Because they got burned when it was what? It was Zeke, Gurley, who it was like that class. All those guys signed those monster contracts, and then all of them freaking kind of fell off, right?
Yeah.
And that's what. And Josh Jacobs was talking about this on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast about how now this group of Saquon, right, himself, like these guys, like they're trying to get that resurgence going, and Derrick Henry, and then prove it on the field, and they are, because the last crop before them, those guys didn't do that, and it really tarnished the position in a big way. And so I think this thing is coming around, and watch it not only with this respect, it's going back to Ashton. If Ashton Genty is what we think or hope he is going to be, he will make all the Raiders money in the next 4 years. You know what I'm saying?
No question.
He's already got his big fat guarantee. Forget, pardon my language, fuck the 5th-year option. Extend that dude, and you know what I mean? And let's make him a Raider through his second contract. If he's going to be that guy, that's what we're looking at here. And then you watch what happens to the running back position, because the NFL's cyclical, man. It goes through phases. It's cyclical. It's a copycat league. Once one thing starts working, other teams will start to emulate that. And it's a great call, Jeff. The Eagles were a very good football team. Then they put on a phenomenal running back, and won the Super Bowl and are likely going to be the favorite to do it again.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's that level that you're talking about. And while I think Jalen Hurts is a very good quarterback, is he that much better than Geno Smith?
No,
Right?
not at all.
So what are they doing? Great running game, pretty good quarterback,
And hella
monster
defense.
fucking defense.
Yep.
The end. Defense
Because
and
what did Saquon do for that entire team?
Made
Exactly
everybody
what I just
better.
listed, Genty has the potential to do for our team. Help the quarterback, the offensive line, the receivers, the defense. By minimizing the time the defense is on the field, they're fresh, so their front four can hunt and get home against opposing quarterbacks.
Yep.
Time of possession, all the little, intrinsic. I can't even say the word. All the game.
Intricacies?
Thank you. The game inside the game that people really
Yes.
don't look at, but that makes such a huge difference when you get to the fourth quarter, is what Genty has the potential to do. I think he can do that. I truly do.
all right, I want to hit one more thing here, and then let's go to a break, Jeff. But Swaggo and I have talked a lot about Brock Bowers, obviously, as he deserved that talk. You talk about how it's going to lift everyone else around him. What does it do specifically for Brock and Geno to be able to feed Brock the football as a former QB yourself?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's really a numbers game. Okay. So if you have a 5-man box and you play a nickel or dime package, that means you have more defensive backs in the game because you're more worried about the pass game, right? People didn't respect our run game a year ago. They're giving us 5-man boxes in a nickel package or a dime package, right? So they're playing the pass, knowing that they don't have to worry about the run because our offensive line was bad and we didn't have playmakers at running back. So what Genty, in my opinion, does is force either a linebacker back in the game or an extra guy, safety, somebody back in the box. So if you rush 4, okay, we could run against that, even if you have a 6-man box. We have enough guys to block that. And if you get Genty to the second level, the best thing you can do, and really in football, is get our best player one-on-one with a defender. You get Genty one-on-one with a linebacker, safety, DB. I will take that matchup all day, twice on Sunday, right? So let's say you bring the 6-man guy in the box, you're still only rushing 4. We can run against that. But if you have a good run game, more attention is focused on that. So you got to bring either a linebacker back in the game or more guys in the box. So now you have 5 eligible receivers on every play. So if you're, only rushing 4, how many guys does that leave on defense to cover 5? 7. So that's hard to make plays work. But when you bring the extra guys in the box, you've got to bring run blitzes, things like that, because you can run the ball effectively, stay ahead of the chains. Not only does it leave your playbook wide open, because when you get 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 12, that cuts your playbook down by so much. There's only so many things that you can do that the defense knows to game plan against it and try it. And they're going to sit back and sometimes drop 8 against your 5. And one of those being a running back. So how much pressure can you really put vertically or horizontally on the defense? It's very hard because there's limited space. But when you have a good run game, you bring those guys in the box, you have to key on it. Now you're getting one-on-one matchups. Who are you going to guard? You're going to double Brock? Okay, if you double Brock, Myers is one-on-one.
Yeah.
There's only so many guys that can guard, right? So I think it just opens up so much more better matchups for our good playmakers at receiver and tight end than we had a year ago. And look at what Myers did a year ago. That was with a terrible run game.
Yeah.
So you just give one-on-one matchups or better coverages against our pass game, which, I mean, you get Chip Kelly, who had a stint in the NFL, went back to Ohio State, won a national championship, came back. I mean, the guy's a genius, whether you like him or not. And I think he learned a lot being in the NFL for that short stint. I'm excited to see what he does.
That's cool, man. So, Swaggo, we talked a lot about how when we brought Brock on, that him and Michael Mayer could be like the version of Gronk and Hernandez, right?
Sure.
Like those guys were just absolutely dynamic and phenomenal. In thinking back to that, though, and that conversation and how it didn't quite unfold the way that we thought, and, Mayer was dealing with some other stuff too and whatnot.
Yeah.
What do you think about the idea that Jack Besh, being a former tight end and now an incredibly physical wide receiver, great blocker, don't you feel like maybe
those two guys?
Those two guys. It could be Jack Besh and
Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers taking advantage of all that stuff that QB Jeff has just been talking about. That to me, like now it's like, because like everything, like there's a formula to it, right? Like everything that was where this draft, like you talked about, like everything was a good fit. It was like you almost saw the plan coming together. Everything you just ran down, it's like, oh, that's where Jack Besh can thrive now, right?
Right. Yeah, 100%. Well, I mean, it's not just those two guys, but it's all the guys. And like, because I feel like we said last year, you know, we were kind of banging the table about it, like you can't double everybody. Someone's going to be wide open. Someone's going to be. Well, last year we also didn't have Geno Smith, you know, one of the most accurate guys in the league. You know, so now you plug in Geno Smith. We had Minshew Mania and AOC. You know, I mean, and like no disrespect to those guys, but maybe a little.
One of them.
But maybe a little disrespect to one of them.
And an ineffective run game, too.
Yeah, exactly.
That made it
and an ineffective run game.
Guys.
So, yeah. So, I mean, and during the offseason last year, we were all talking about how Zamir White was going to be a 1,200-yard rusher.
Oh, my gosh.
Because, you know, and he was going to be our Josh Jacobs replacement and all that stuff. And, you know, F Luke Getsy forever, I think, because I think he killed a lot of those guys as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Geno is going to look like a freaking rock star because he's going to have all these, and it's all thanks to Ashton Genty. At the end of the day,
like
at the end of the day.
Okay, let me ask you guys this, and you purely, I'm gonna start with you, Swaggo, and then you wrap us up on the QB Jeff. I know we're all Raider fans. Clearly, that's why we do this damn show. We bleed silver and black, and we passionately want our team to be better than they were the year before. We want them to be better next year than they are this year. We want to see this team get back to greatness and win championships and to freaking enter into an era of not only respectability, but highly competitive football. That's what we want desperately. Do you feel like, here we've been doing this podcast now for 50 minutes, and we've mainly been talking about one guy. Are we setting ourselves, is the idea, are we putting, I'll say my opinion. Are we putting too much on it? Like, are we really like being fair to what the expectation should be? We listed out the numbers and all that, but the impact to this, are we selling ourselves, or is it really going to be different this time?
I think it's really going to be different, man. I don't think we're you know, putting too much on the guy. He was the 6th overall pick in the NFL draft. He was the best player in college football last year. The end. Okay. Plain and simple.
Fair. That's fair.
You know, we put that pressure on Brock Bowers last year, and guess what?
Wow,
guess what?
You know what?
He fucking delivered.
Come on, Swag Jeff.
He delivered.
Come on.
He delivered because he was the best player in college football the year prior. The year we drafted him. So, like, as a Raider fan, like, how can you not be excited at the fact that the last 2 seasons, the Raiders drafted the best player in college football? So we have the 2 best players in college football for the last 2 years. Like, come on, dude. Like, I mean, no. I don't think we're put all the pressure on this kid because he's 5'8" and 200 pounds, and that son of a bitch can carry it. What say you?
Beautiful.
I see that, and then you asked about Rookie of the Year earlier. Like, I think his value outside of his stats far outweighs. I don't really care what he does. The fact that defenses have to look back there and respect number 2 in the backfield because he can take it 90 yards, 80 yards, however far he is away from the goal line.
Because he is a home run hitter, too, even more than Josh Jacobs was.
Just go YouTube his film and go watch it. It's so much yards after contact. And you can complain that it was, you know, Colorado State and UNLV twice. Well, hell, UNLV was ranked in the top 25 for most of the year, and he beat them twice. Just look at it with unbiased eyes as a football fan and tell me that guy wasn't the best player in college football last year. And you said it perfectly. Draft football guys. That's what we did. So even if I think realistically, I think he's a 1,000-yard rusher in his rookie year. And I think if he does that, that'd be an incredible year. 1,600, that's a lot. Maybe he gets there, maybe he doesn't.
All purpose. Because you got to catch a lot of balls, too.
Phenomenal. He started out as a receiver. He's got great hands. And again, Chip Kelly is a master in matchups. He will get our best guys in one-on-one situations, and then it's Geno's job to get that guy the ball. And if you get Genty against any guy one-on-one, I will take Genty all day long.
Yep.
Just go look at his college film. Now, I know these are pros. These are grown men. They're not college kids. But let's not act like Genty's not going to learn and he's not going to get faster and get better. Sure, there's going to be a learning curve. There is for every single player that comes from college to the NFL. But I just think the upside, the potential is there with Genty, and the effect that he has for everybody else, it's why you drafted him. I think that's the true reason, because he helps everybody on the roster.
Right on. Let's go.
100%.
Hey, hit a break for us there, Swag Jeff.
Absolutely. Let's do that.
Pee-pee time.
Las Vegas, a city without a pro football team, in a world gone mad. What can we do about it? Acquire the most desired franchise in sports history? Sin City, lost wages, home of the Elvis weddings, and 24-hour debauchery. But finally, a match made in heaven. The Oakland Raiders have landed in the desert with the Death Star as their home. And to celebrate beyond your imagination has come 3 individuals hosting the most irreverent show while paying homage to the storied history of this franchise. Raiders Fan Radio with Murf, Swaggy J, and Michelle, taking a lighter side journey into the dark side.
All right, appreciate you, Raider Nation. Appreciate everybody hanging in there for this Friday night edition of Raiders Fan Radio, episode 372, coming at you live here. And, man, so we're going to be off next week, and then we'll be back. So we're off the 14th, but then we'll be back on the 28th. So we'll see you guys back in here.
21st.
That's what I meant. Yes, thank you. I can do math. But then we'll be off on the 28th.
We'll be off on the 28th.
I've always been good at adding sevens.
Always.
And when I was a kid, I could always do the multiplications and all that stuff with 7. Everything else, trash.
Yeah.
But 7s, I was always pretty good at.
There you go. Well, speaking of 28.
Oh, you want to talk about Josh? Okay.
I thought you wanted to.
Well, I was going to read an email, but we're coming up on an hour. You got to go, or you want to keep going?
Well, let's touch on it.
All right, let's
pause.
Hey, I'll tell me about your life. Okay, real quick. All right, so Josh.
That's what Jeff Murphy was talking about with Ashton Genty.
I mean, have you looked at the guy?
Josh Jacobs is on with Bussin' with the Boys, and shout out the boys, shout out Will, huge supporter of what we do around here.
Absolutely,
we love Will Compton and what he's done to support the foundation, but also become a hell of an interviewer. Him and Taylor. Like,
did a good job.
He's doing unbelievable.
I know, right? Like, I know they're quote they present as dopey jocks and that whole kind of thing and whatever, and they are, and that's why they're funny. But they're also really intelligent and very well structured
and super entertaining. Yes, they're doing a fantastic job over there.
Yeah, and so one of the things that good interviewers do, Dan Patrick, Jim Rome, Rich Eisen in the sports landscape, is that when they have athletes on, they do a good job of pulling information out of them that they normally wouldn't be comfortable talking about, because what does media want to do? They want to exploit it and turn it into an ESPN scream show, right? Or whatever else. So athletes don't want to give you anything. But when you're hanging out with Will and Taylor, they're willing to let some stuff go. And so Josh Jacobs, and listen, I'm all about the future, and I don't want to live in the past, but I think that what's interesting is that Josh Jacobs' comments about the contract dealings with the Raiders, and I want to talk about it because I'm going to say this. I gave Josh a bad rap on this show because of the cryptic, social media posts and the vagueness of the communication and whatnot. All while he's doing, in his camp, are doing everything they can to keep him in silver and black. And that fucking stupid coach of ours and the dopey GM that we had at the time did everything they could to belittle and to downplay the significance of Josh Jacobs. Now, I don't regret where we ended up because we've got this phenomenal young running back coming in. And so I think the role has been filled. But what is sad to me is that as a Raider fan, that was the point of what our organization was at the time. It's embarrassing. It's another blight on Josh McDaniels' career. And if you didn't think he was a great head coach. That's a fair opinion to have. None of us thought that either. But not only was he not a good head coach, he was destructive. Then you got guys like Antonio Pierce, who, look, he wasn't a great head coach, but he wasn't destructive. The players had his back. The buy-in was there. There was an electricity around the team. Like, he just wasn't a great game day guy. And so fair enough, not all of us will be, but he wasn't destructive. He still built even within the lack of success of that last season, this last year. So for Josh McDaniels to have this now show up, and I put out a post where I was like, so not only did he botch the contract negotiation with Josh Jacobs and absolutely sour the freaking, the guy to the Raiders, and he even goes out of his way and says that it was not the organization, it was the people that were running it at the time, right? Then he absolutely ruined Hunter Renfrow, right? And completely botched the Derek Carr situation. You had your franchise quarterback, you let walk out the freaking door, had to cut him from the freaking football team. Like, absolutely no value in return. And I'm not saying that it wasn't time to move on from Derek, but you completely screwed the.
You got to do it in the right way.
The right way. You got Jimmy Garoppolo as the answer? Are you kidding me? Like, so absolutely screwed that up. And then I had like a couple people on the socials there actually come, and this blows my mind, Raider Nation, I love you, but some of you were wacky. This one, or two guys come at me and in defense of McDaniels and go, well, Hunter was washed. Hunter got broken because McDaniels restricted him in his ability to improvise when it came to route running and forced him into a box that he shouldn't have existed in. And it literally ruined his confidence to where the guy got ulcerative colitis. Do you guys not read before you tweet? Do you not educate? Whatever. That was only directed at a couple of guys. I know most of Raider Nation gets it. But anyways, all that said, to go from that, and here's the silver lining here. Silver and black lining, to go from that and that level of dysfunction that was in the Raiders, Jeff, when we had McDaniels and Ziegler at the helm of the front office, to be where we're at now with Papa Pete out there freaking dapping guys up at the first rookie OTAs, right? Big energy, positivity. Everybody loves them. Everybody loves Spy Tech. There's this positivity that's around this organization that we hadn't seen in a hot minute, and it feels awful good. So while I hated that for Jacobs and I hated for that situation, I'm thankful that that's no longer the case, because that shit was rough, bro.
Yeah. I think the thing, and I'm with you too. I kind of shit on JJ a little bit after not re-signing with us and all that. But hearing his story and him talk, he wanted to be a Raider. He wanted to be a Raider so badly. He said in that interview, I never planned to leave. I thought I was never not going to wear silver and black. I wanted to be a Raider forever. And even during contract negotiations, he said, hey, this is where I want to be. Can you get me there? No. Okay, well, can you meet me halfway? He was willing to take less money to stay with the organization. And the people that were in charge said no.
And they said, well, can you meet me down here?
Yeah.
And
they said no. And they just let him walk. They let him go. And I don't begrudge the man for going and getting his bag and going to another place. I mean, this guy bled silver and black, gave his heart and soul for this football team, and wanted to be here. And the people that were in charge just didn't.
QB Jeff, they told him he had to prove himself coming off of winning the rushing title. Do that math for me.
It doesn't. The math doesn't add up. And when we were going through this whole thing, I said, I remember us talking about it. I said, I don't care what you have to do. You have to re-sign Josh Jacobs, because how good he was. And my main selling point was yards after contact. I was like, our offensive line isn't great, and this guy still won the rushing title. The value that he added to our team was immeasurable. And you let him go. The fact that all this came out, it just infuriated me. But what I love about what we have now, if you look at all,
he's going to make this about Ashton Genty again.
No, I'm
watch.
not.
No, it's okay. I love that he's doing that.
I can.
Busting your balls.
I'll circle back. I'll get him in there. Look at who we have now. You have Pete Carroll. You have Spy Tech. You have Tom Brady pulling strings. What's the common denominator of those three things? They're all winners.
Come on.
They all know how to win. They know what it takes, and they understand that it's not their ego. It's not all these other things that McDaniels and all those guys, like, nobody knows more than me. Those guys are always willing to learn. They're about the process, and it's proven they're all winners. And whether you like Brady or not, the Tuck rule, all that stuff, the guy was the best to ever do it. And Pete Carroll was one of the best college coaches of all time. He proved he was a great coach in Seattle. And all of his players, I've never heard a player be like, Pete Carroll was a douchebag. He's a player's coach.
Never heard that. Yeah.
Never heard that.
Ultimate. Yeah. And the guys seem to be loving him so far. And then you add a winner like Ashton Genty into the mix.
There it is.
I mean, you have winners. And winning, there's a process to it. Like, it's not, everybody doesn't know what it takes. But we got Tom Brady, GM, head coach. Now we got some players in the building as well that are winners.
Heck,
like,
even our 6th round picks.
That's what I'm saying.
Winners.
I mean,
Tommy Mellott, Cam Miller.
Went against each other, battled it out. 2 best quarterbacks in FCS last couple of years.
There you go.
I mean, they're winners. There's something to that. There's this confidence that builds when you come from winning programs that do it the right way and you understand what it takes. There's a reason why some people aren't successful, because they don't understand what it takes to win. We got winners in the building for the first time, I feel like, in a long time. See where it goes. We could be in the same boat again, but it just looks like everything is trending in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Finally. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I saw a clip today on the X of Pete Carroll, 73-year-old Papa Pete. He's in there with his receiver gloves at rookie mini camps, dabbing guys up, dancing around,
Well, I saw
all
that
that
part,
stuff.
but I didn't see the gloves thing.
Oh, he's got freaking receiver gloves
He's
on,
like
and
going
he's
through
like
the
he's
bags
going
and
through the
stuff.
bag.
Yeah,
Yeah, man,
yeah.
for sure. Like this
took
guy,
100 on the jugs machine before he practiced.
yeah, I'm telling you, Pete Carroll may be the hero that we needed and deserved.
Amen to that.
You know what I mean?
Amen to that.
Yeah.
I want to add one more piece.
Please
and I've
do.
said this
Go
when
for it.
We
He's
hired
kind of standing back there in the wings, right? He's kind of off to the side. He's not even sitting in a seat. He's kind of sitting back because remember there was all that. Does Max want to? Does he want out? Does he want it? And he was just kind of standing back there, not defensively, but
Just seeing what was up.
pulled back just to kind of watch, see how this thing went. And by the time that thing was over, what was it? He was down at the stage, chopping it up with Pete. They're laughing. They're not high fiving, but they're laughing. They're shaking hands and hugging and all that. That's it. That's it right there.
spot it quicker than anybody else can.
And he spotted it day one and recognized that he was real, and then here we go. It's on to the next phase of the Raiders, man. So hopefully this thing will stick around for a minute. We're all encouraged. I know you are, Raider Nation. You're encouraged as well, and it's as Swaggo always says, like, this is his favorite time of year because the hope. Like everybody's 0-0 right now.
My heart's full of joy. Yeah.
I got my joy back.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Shout out Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, right on. Man, our Dubs got blasted last night, man. Jeez.
Find a way, Dubs.
Oh, my gosh. Come on. We need Steph back bad. It was a 10.5-point spread. And I'm like, oh, yeah, they'll be at least be able to cover that after pulling out game one. Yeah, no. What did we lose by? 17?
It was a lot.
Oh, no.
You knew they
really?
Oh, yeah, we got smoked.
You knew they were going to come out, though. Minnesota was after getting embarrassed.
But I thought Jimmy and Buddy, I thought for sure, man, the way they were so hot in that first game, I thought we can start raining some threes still. And Draymond, you know what I mean?
The thing is, mid-game when Steph goes down, everybody thinks that they're still game planning for Steph. So I think there's a hard adjustment for the Timberwolves. And then game two, they come out and they're like, we know we can play up. They don't have a playmaker like Steph. Kerr's a good coach. As much as I disagree with him on some other stuff, like, he's a great coach, and he'll find a way to make some adjustments. If we can get one at home, and then Steph comes back, maybe game 5, maybe game 6.
I hope so, man. Hammies, man. That injury, that's
they
tough.
linger.
When do they play again? Tonight?
Saturday,
No,
tomorrow.
Or tomorrow
yeah,
night?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Saturday. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, because it's Friday. I'm like, wait a minute, what night is it?
What day? Yeah,
I'm
what
like,
day is it?
isn't this Wednesday? Like,
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
weird.
yeah.
So, anyways, appreciate you, Raider Nation. Thank you guys so very, very much for checking out this episode of Raiders Fan Radio. Before we get out of here, please shout out the chat room on the way out. I'll turn over to QB Jeff and have you close it out as always. But thank you, Raider Nation. Thank you so much for being here for this episode of Raiders Fan Radio. We will see you not this coming Wednesday, but the following Wednesday on the 21st. Thank you for all your amazing support of the One Nation Foundation and everything that you do to support Raiders Fan Radio. QB Jeff, thank you for being here tonight, bro.
Let's go, dude.
appreciate you guys having me, guys. Raiders' future is bright, and it's been the most excited I've been in a long time.
Hey,
Nation.
and shout out your show real quick.
Yeah, at Group of Five Guys on all the social. If you're a fan of college football, and especially if your alma mater or your team is in the Group of Five, come check us out at groupoffiveguys.com. We travel, we talk about college football as a whole, and specifically the Group of Five because there's great players like Max Crosby, Ashton Genty, Trey Tucker, and more.
Absolutely. Hey, and shout out your business.
Domenico's Italian Deli. If you go to the location in Alameda, California, 1407 Webster Street, or Murfreesboro, Tennessee, our second location at 106 South Maple Street. You want a good sandwich? We'll take care of you.
Get you a sandwich. Hey.
You can go get the Murfaletta.
That's right.
Oh, get the Murfaletta.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. I went with I went with the dip forever, but the Murfaletta is where it's at.
It's really good. That
It's
olive
really
salad,
good.
I mean, forget about it.
Come on.
Nice.
Hey, so thanks for everyone for being here. Ron the Mater Raider, Raider Way, Yoshi, Raider 27, Martin, Scott Sweaty in the building, PDL. Let's see, Paul.
Shit, I didn't read Martin's email.
My 2 cents. We'll get it next time.
We'll get it next time.
Desert Raider, Raider Shield family. Thank you guys for being here. On behalf of QB Jeff, on behalf of Murf, on behalf of Michelle that isn't here, my name's Swag Jeff. You've been listening to another episode of Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. And don't forget, boys and girls, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland.
Damn right it
We
did.
love you guys. Much respect.